So I wanted to take a few minutes and talk about this inexpensive holster that was sent to me. This is from Warriorland. And this is a standard outside the waistband, just a basic outside the waistband holster for a Smith & Wesson M&P. And this particular one is cut to accept optics. So if you have a M&P that has an optic on it, it will work with this setup. Standard design for an outside the waistband. The Kydex is decently made. Open end right here, so if you have a threaded barrel or something, you won't have to worry about it. I think that's nice. It does have dual screws here for retention to tighten up your retention. This one came a little bit loose from the factory, so I'd certainly double check and tighten them up if you get them, so that way you have good retention. Standard paddle design. This paddle slips right in, the belt goes through right here, it just slips on through the belt, and then the holster stays on that way. My one criticism is right here, the paddle. I would do a reverse angle on here instead of just a flat. You can see how it's flat. I would do a reverse cut or put a little nub right here to give a little bit more retention on the belt, because not all belts are equal. Some are a little bit thicker, some are a little bit thinner, and I think with that retention or that reverse cut, you're going to have a little bit better retention rather on this holster, because I do worry that with moving it might slip off the belt and you might have an issue with just pulling the whole holster out when you try to draw your firearm. Uses for this, I would put this particular one, this would be a good just a range holster, something to train with. But as far as, you know, a lot of heavy use like out in the field and stuff, until they change this design just a little bit, make it a little bit better on the paddle, then I wouldn't recommend it for that, honestly. But for range use, if you have an airsoft gun, maybe you can try it out on the airsoft range, see if it holds retention for you, and it probably will. It's just one thing, it's just one of my observations on this. But other than that, the Kydex itself looks pretty solid. It has a slight little cant to it, which I like, and the retention is pretty decent for just a basic Kydex holster. So there it is, just a basic holster, and I'll hold up here. This is the part number right there. But you can just check them out on Amazon. And just to show a couple things, it does have a lifetime warranty on it. So there's their information right there if you want to get a hold of them. So decent product. It's just a very budget price deal. So it is what it is for a basic holster. Yeah, for range use, certainly. If you're looking to maybe practice a little bit, sure. But for duty use or for anything more serious than that, I would recommend something with a little bit better, at least a paddle, a retention onto the belt, and maybe something with maybe more of a mechanical retention.